with his young associate Barnacle Boy, fights for all creatures that live in the sea against the forces of evil.
Can you believe that this season 1 episode of SpongeBob has over like 15 mistakes in it? What? Well, in today's video, we're gonna ruin your childhood and expose all of them. Here's the first mistake.
Barnacle Boy, unite!
Creatures of the deep, assemble!
Alright, it's time for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1. Did you guys catch that first mistake? If not, let me explain. First things first though, just saying, it's crazy that this was the first episode where Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy ever appeared. It's history, but anyways, let me explain this mistake. So as you guys may have just noticed, the donut Patrick uses as a stand-in for Barnacle Boy's ring, this one right here, is chocolate, alright? Remember this, it's chocolate. We see this especially when they touch their donuts together. But the problem here is when we see this exact same donut in any other shot, it's orange. We know it's the same donut because of how many donuts were in the box, but yeah, first the donut was chocolate, and then it just randomly changes to an orange donut in every other shot. And just saying, an orange donut sounds disgusting. Like, I don't think I would eat that, an orange flavored donut. What about you guys? But anyways, here's mistake number 2 from Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1.
Hold it right there, ma'am. I'll be taking that.
Ah! Help! Help! Help!
It's working.
This one is really weird. So there's a joke in this episode, you guys just saw it in the clip, where Patrick takes SpongeBob's purse and peers out from behind this building right here, looking out from behind it. But if you look closely at one point, the purse is just seen floating beside him when he's supposed to be holding it. It's right here, and yeah, that thing is just floating, which I don't even think I need to explain is totally a mistake. And here's number 3. Remember guys, not every mistake in the beginning is going to be like crazy, but as we go, they're gonna get really bad.
There it is! You know what this means?
Donuts.
Oh, brother.
So as you guys just saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy realize that they need to fight evil again, even though SpongeBob's just a massive fan, and they pull out their iconic rings. Now, if you look at these rings, there's an M and a B on each ring, because one is for Mermaid Man, exclusively for him, and the other is exclusively for Barnacle Boy. That's why they have the letters on them. As you can see, the B ring is on the left, and the M ring is on the right. However, if we watch closely when Barnacle Boy puts the ring on Mermaid Man, I'm slowing down the footage, he actually puts the ring with the B on Mermaid Man. We know this because it was on the left side, so major mistake here. The ring on the right should have been the one that went onto Mermaid Man's hand because it has an M on it. All right, makes sense. Let's keep it moving. More mistakes are coming, and they're pretty interesting, so yeah, let's keep it moving.
Say the oath!
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, unite! Water bowling.
I'm gonna make this one quick because it is pretty much cartoon logic, but as you know, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy put those rings on, but the problem is after Mermaid Man says the oath, both his and Barnacle Boy's rings have now just disappeared. We literally see them put them on seconds prior, but just now they're just gone, which is just a really stupid mistake to be honest, but again, it is cartoon logic that they would disappear. Whatever, here's another mistake.
It's the raging whirlpool!
This is another one that's just like really funny. As you guys saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy do their signature dog paddling towards the boys. But what's important here is before this scene, all right, if we look at Mermaid Man, he's wearing some socks, all right? Even before they do the dog paddle, he is wearing socks, as you can see right here. But when he starts doing the dog paddle, I don't know if he took his socks off because they're gone. It seems the animators forgot to draw the socks during this animation, as afterwards, after they're done the dog paddle, they just reappear. His socks are back. So first he had socks on, then he's missing his socks, and then they're back. Wild mistake here. I told you they're gonna get crazier as we progress. So yeah, let's keep it moving though, guys. Here's another spicy one.
To the broccoli!
This one happens really fast, so it's somewhat excusable, but it's also just really hilarious. When Mermaid Man says to the broccoli while in line, again, it happens very quickly, but his right bra strap turns orange for a split second. Normally they're white, as you can see in this shot right here, but for that one split second, it turns orange and it looks very strange. Definitely a little bit of an animation error here, and here's more.
We need help. Sea creatures unite!
Now this one is a tough mistake, guys. How me and my team found it is very impressive because it's very easy to miss. But when Mabel, this lady right here, remember her, when she comes outside after Mermaid Man calls her and the other old people residents to assemble, as she's coming out of the place to the outside to Bikini Bottom, the bottom of her cane flashes white for like 2 different frames. Does it matter? Not really, but it's still technically a mistake, and you gotta say it's kind of impressive that we found this one. Like, come on, dude. I'm playing it again. Yeah, it flashes white for like 2 different frames, and it's definitely not supposed to happen, but we'll let it slide. And now it's time to head over to our last mistake from this episode that's actually hilarious.
Join our heroes locked in a battle of wits.
Alright, it's time for the last mistake. So as you guys just saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were playing checkers. Now, whenever we get a zoomed out shot of this checkerboard, it's incorrectly colored, with the red squares being where the black squares are supposed to be, and the black squares being where the red squares are supposed to be. Now, in any of these zoomed in shots, it's correct, right? So we can do a side by side. Here's a zoomed in shot, and here's a zoomed out shot, and you'll notice the zoomed out shots are incorrect. They messed up the board for checkers. Maybe checkers is reversed in Bikini Bottom, but the fact that they drew it correctly when zoomed in shows that those zoomed out shots are 100% a mistake. Rest in peace to the voice actor of Mermaid Man, just saying he's a legend. And yeah, that's it for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Let's head over to Neptune's spatula. Here's the first mistake. So, as you guys saw, eventually, SpongeBob and King Neptune have like a fry cook off because King Neptune just does not believe that SpongeBob is a good fry cook. He's very rude to our favorite little sponge in this episode, just saying. Now, at this cook off or this challenge, there is a massive audience. And if we look throughout the audience, right, several fish members in the audience change colors between shots. For example, we have this character right here. At first, he looks like this, but as the scene progresses, he'll randomly change and look like this. The same fish, but a completely different color. Here's another example. Take a look at this background incidental character right here. At first he's this color, or I guess they are this color, and then they change to this color after a couple shots. Super weird. These types of mistakes are fairly common because they're like background characters, but still, I caught ya, I'm exposing them. And here's another mistake.
What did I tell you about using your powers, trainee?
Perfect patties are made with love, not magic.
This is another weird one where we have some color changes going on. It's not as bad as the last one, but when SpongeBob is speaking to Neptune in the kitchen at the end, look, the walls are light blue instead of the teal that the walls are in all of the long shots of the kitchen. Normally, the walls look like this. They have this teal color only in the long shots, but then when SpongeBob's talking to Neptune in the exact same location, they're now like a light blue or something. Kind of a nitpick, but you know, the color of a wall doesn't just change randomly in a matter of seconds. You know, Mr. Krabs maybe did a new paint job, but I doubt it. This was definitely a mistake. And here's another one. I don't know how I caught this one, but this character right here is Incidental 7. I'm showing a PNG of her on screen right now. Well, as you can see here, Incidental 7 is chilling in the crowd, and she is wearing a shirt with a collar. Remember the collar, all right? As eventually, when Incidental 7 catches one of Neptune's patties, look, that collar that was just on their shirt just disappears randomly. Literally, here's a side-by-side. And look at this. After she takes a bite of the patty, her collar just randomly reappears again. So very messy moment here.
Your shell is mine!
Coming in next is the episode Tea at the Tree Dome. Here's the first mistake.
4 stingers.
Did you guys catch that first one? It's pretty easy to catch, to be honest. Also, I'm gonna be completely real. We've covered it before in other videos, but I want this video to have every single mistake from Tea at the Tree Dome, so we're covering it again. But when SpongeBob puts his binoculars away when he's spying on Sandy at the very beginning of the episode, as you guys just saw, look, our boy needs to go to the dentist as his teeth turns yellow for one frame. This is a fairly common mistake throughout SpongeBob, especially in season 1, but when we really freeze a frame like this, it looks so bad. And here's another one.
Land squirrel. That little squirrel is in trouble.
Take that, you sorry old clam!
We've covered this one a couple of times before, so I'm gonna make it really quick. But, as you guys just saw, when SpongeBob says that that little squirrel is in trouble, yeah, the left part of his belt is missing. Normally, SpongeBob looks like this. Here's a PNG of him, and as you can see, his belt goes all across his pants. But yeah, it happens sometimes. Part of his belt is missing in this one frame. So weird. Not as weird as this next mistake, though.
Heck no, I needed to breathe. I gotta have my air.
Me too. I love air. Air is good.
No kidding?
Why, air's my middle name.
Okay, so for this one to really make sense, let's take a look at our girl Sandy over here, alright? Sandy Cheeks. And one thing you'll notice is that her neck, alright, is always brown. It's the same color as like her on her body. Now, this is a very common mistake throughout SpongeBob. It's happened a couple of times. But when Sandy says, no kidding, look, the animators incorrectly colored her neck as white for like a couple of frames, when of course it's supposed to be brown. Here's a side-by-side. Yeah, totally a mistake here. Her neck is not white. It's supposed to be brown. And here's another one from Tea at the Tree Dome. This one's interesting.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this. Remember, when in doubt, pinky out.
So a big thing in this episode, as you guys just saw, is Patrick teaching SpongeBob how to be fancy. And a big thing is pinkies up, all right? This is a big thing. I don't know how, putting your pinky up while drinking tea is fancy, but hey, Patrick, it's his idea. Now from here, we see SpongeBob throw up his pinky plenty of times. But in the next scene where SpongeBob and Patrick are approaching Sandy's tree dome, if we look, SpongeBob has his left hand up, and if we really zoom in, that isn't his pinky, that's his index finger, which is totally a mistake as it completely goes against the joke here of lifting up your pinky. So really funny mistake. You can see right there that is not his pinky. I know it's kind of blurred because this is an old episode and I'm zooming in, but that's an index finger and totally a mistake. And here's another one.
How's that?
Higher.
Like that?
Now that's fancy. They should call you SpongeBob Fancy Pants!
Yeah, this one's just like the last. It has to do with SpongeBob and him holding up his pinky, which as I've mentioned is a big gag in this episode. So when Patrick tells SpongeBob how to be fancy, he lifts his right hand pinky finger up right here, as you can see. Right hand pinky finger. Now, from the front view, this view right here, the pinky is shown on the left side. Remember this. And from the back view, it's shown on the left side instead of the right. And it looks like SpongeBob is holding up one of his middle fingers instead of his pinky, which is kind of a mistake. With this one, you can tell they just kind of messed up with the angles of this scene. Some of you guys might not really get what's going on here, but yeah, totally a mistake. Let's move over to one that's a lot more clear. This next mistake is blatant.
Remember, when in doubt, pinky out. You can do it, SpongeBob. I'll be watching.
This one definitely needs some explaining. So, whenever Sandy lets SpongeBob or Patrick into her house, she has to drain the water in the entrance. For it to get drained, she uses this red light thing right here. Whenever this goes off, that's when the water gets drained, alright? And it's there when it's getting drained so that SpongeBob and Patrick can come in. It's right there. Remember, I know I'm rambling, but remember, it's right there. As before this, when we see SpongeBob and Patrick walking up towards the tree dome, look, that red light thingy where the water gets drained is not there. It's literally missing in this shot, and then once they get closer, it magically appears. Very funny. I mean, this one makes sense. It was a zoomed out shot. That's why they didn't draw it on her door, but that's a mistake. And here's another one.
If y'all needed water, you should have asked.
This one just cracks me up. At the ending of the episode, Sandy says, if you wanted water, why didn't you just say so? But dude, girl, what you talking about? SpongeBob literally asked for water earlier on in the episode. Remember? Here's the clip.
Can I get you anything?
Water would be nice.
I'm gonna put these in a vase.
Take your time.
Yeah, so he did ask Sandy, you just didn't give him water and he almost died, so yeah. We ain't done yet though, believe it or not. Here's another.
There, that ought to do it.
And last but not least, for Tea at the Tree Dome, this one is hilarious. So as you guys just saw, SpongeBob is seen rehydrated, all right? He's like all refreshed now. He isn't dying anymore. But if we look closely, there isn't any water in his air helmet yet. He just starts looking like this as Patrick is getting filled up before SpongeBob himself actually gets filled up. So yeah, this is like the worst mistake of the episode, to be honest with you guys. Next up, we have a very special episode of SpongeBob. I mean, it's literally the first episode ever Help Wanted.
Here we see Bikini Bottom, teeming with life, home of one of my favorite creatures, SpongeBob SquarePants.
This one's a big deal, and I don't think I need to tell you guys why. I mean, it's the debut of our favorite annoying little sponge over here, SpongeBob, and all of our other favorite Bikini Bottom characters. But I hate to do it, guys. I gotta do what I gotta do. We're gonna be diving into mistakes, and this episode has like 10 plus, so here's the first one. Now a heads up, because I'm covering every mistake in this episode, not every mistake is going to be like groundbreaking, alright? And this first one's a good example of that, as Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, his name in the written by section of the opening credits is actually misspelled, with it missing the N in his surname. And guys, the mistakes coming up were a lot worse. Here's the second mistake from this episode.
Home of one of my favorite creatures, SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, of course he lives in a pineapple, you silly.
Yeah, this one's quick, but this is how SpongeBob's house normally looks. Now, keep in mind, this is the first ever episode, so I mean, the house isn't really decided on yet, but this is how SpongeBob's pineapple home normally looks. And as you can see, it has a window here, and there's also one here at the back. I don't know if I can show it in this one image. But in Help Wanted, in the very beginning of the episode, look, SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home is missing this window right here. There should be a window right there, and it isn't there. This is the first episode though, so I'll give the show a break, and here's another mistake.
There it is. The finest eating establishment ever established for eating. The Krusty Krab.
This one's a weird one, and I feel kind of lame nitpicking, but the goal is to cover like every mistake in this episode, right? So, when SpongeBob is looking at the Krusty Krab in the scene you guys just saw, at first, as you can see right here, I'm using an arrow to point it out, he is on sand. Remember this, alright? He's on sand. But then, literally like a couple seconds later, in the next shot, he's suddenly now on the road. So yeah, kind of weird. Here's a side-by-side. First he's on the sand, then he's on the road. Weird mistake, and here's the next one.
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
This next one is another nitpick that I personally don't think is a big deal. I mean, the show is 2D animated. 2D animation is hard, as I always say. But take a look at this random shot of Patrick, all right? This is a shot of him from another episode, and as you can see, his eyelids, all right, they are purple. Remember this, all right? Whenever he closes his eyes, you can see that his eyelids are purple. Well, in this one episode, when Patrick says, "Who's ready?" his eyelids are randomly pink instead of the usual purple, which, like I said, is a nitpick. But here's the thing. If we look at other shots of Patrick in this same episode, look, they're purple. So for this one shot, this one where he says, "Who's ready?" why are they pink? Totally a mistake. It happens sometimes. Hey, and let's keep it moving.
Who's ready?
Okay, so this one's actually pretty bad. The last two were, you know, they were all right mistakes. So, as you guys just seen, we have that shot where SpongeBob is going, "I'm ready," his catchphrase. And the last time he says it, look, as his collar actually turns red randomly, and it's not supposed to be that color. That's, yeah, that's a mistake. And like I said, this one's actually pretty bad. There's lots more coming up though, guys. Here's the next one.
Hey, please! Stay seated and out with their hands out the window!
This one's interesting. So when all of the anchovies arrive, we can see 4 buses pulling up to the Krusty Krab, all right? And there's quite the introduction to these buses showing up, and if we see them showing up, there is only 4. Remember this. As a few shots later, and there is now 5 buses parked. I mean, I guess the 5th one could have shown up late. That's totally a possibility, but kind of a weird choice for a cartoon. So yeah, kind of a mistake. I don't know for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think this one's a mistake, or this 5th truck just randomly showed up late, or I guess 5th bus? Anyways though, here's the next mistake.
Smelly smell that smells. Smelly. Anchovies.
Why?
Okay, you need the eyes of a hawk to catch this one. But when Mr. Krabs yells anchovies, the top of Squidward's mouth is like separated with a line. We really have to zoom in here. It happens specifically when Mr. Krabs says anchovies, and yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. Squidward, I'd go to a doctor, man. That's totally a mistake. And here's more.
Please, please, quiet! Is this any way to behave?
This one really made me laugh. So, when Squidward yells quiet in the clip you guys just saw and asks if this is any way to behave, this window right here, the Krusty Krab's side window and metal back wall, are both just missing. Like, where are they? Here's another shot of the Krusty Krab in the same episode, and like, it was there, but then in this one part it's just missing. Like, they're just gone. There's no window and there's no metal back wall. So, weird mistake. Things are only gonna get weirder from here though, guys. Be prepared.
Form a neat single file line in front of the register.
Alright, so take a look at the inside of the Krusty Krab. This is from a more modern episode of SpongeBob, just so you guys can get a widescreen look. And something you'll notice is that there's always this order here sign right here in Squidward's like cashier station. It's right above the ordering boat that Squidward is always standing in. Well, in Help Wanted, when the anchovies are absolutely tweaking and freaking out and are picking up the ordering boat, look, that order here sign that's supposed to be right here is nowhere to be seen. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, as a lot of these mistakes are. They're not that big of a deal, but it's really funny to catch. And now whenever I rewatch this episode, I'm always gonna see this mistake. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Here's another one. I'm very, very proud of myself for catching this one, but for it to make sense, I need to give you guys some context and explain, so listen closely. This right here is the outside of the Krusty Krab, and as you can see, on the restaurant itself, on the outside, there are these like decorative flags. And there's this flag right here with 2 of these like white squares on it, okay? It's this one right here. There's white and red checkers on it, to be very specific. Well, in the overhead shot, closer to like the middle of the episode where the restaurant is jumping left to right, you guys just saw the clip, the white spots on that flag actually turn purple randomly. I'm zooming in and pausing again here, and you can see they're purple. Here's a side-by-side. Normally it's white, but then that white part of that flag is purple when the restaurant's going left and right. It's very weird. It's probably some sort of layering issue, because every white part of the flag turns purple. But yeah, totally a mistake, and guys, we're reaching the end, but here's more. This one is probably one of the weirdest mistakes I've ever covered because of how random it is, and it's very weird, okay? But when Mr. Krabs and Squidward hit this pole in the clip you guys just saw, this random frame of what looks like to be the alternate or inverted background for the credit just randomly appears. It goes back to normal, but you'll notice like right when they hit it, the frame just changes to this for a second. You still see the anchovies, and then it goes back to normal. It's so weird. I'm actually gonna play it again in slow motion. Yeah, take a look at this real quick. So weird, and now that you guys saw it in slow motion, you see what I really mean. It's so random, but whatever, guys. We've still got more mistakes to cover, and they're wild. Roll the clip.
Climb, Mr. Squidward, climb!
I wasn't lying about the next mistake being a wild one, as when Mr. Krabs says, "Climb, Mr. Squidward, climb," Squidward's upper teeth are purple. I don't even think I need to show you guys. Normally, Squidward's teeth are not purple, but in this one shot, they're purple, and just what? What is going on in this episode? It's the first one, so I'll give them a break. But guys, there's more. Here's the next one.
Someone order a spatula! That's right.
Okay, so remember that pole I was talking about before, all right? Now, in previous scenes, that pole has like a blue covering on it, all right? This blue part right here. Remember this, as when SpongeBob later on in the episode comes to save the day and says, "Did someone order a spatula?" That same pole that Mr. Krabs and Squidward are on that had the blue on it before now has like a red covering on it, all right? Which is totally a continuity error. First it was blue and now it's red. And I doubt that Mr. Krabs did some like interior redesigning while they were getting like attacked and like approached by anchovies. So yeah, here's another mistake though.
But Mr. Krabs.
Cheers for SpongeBob! Hip hip!
All right, Mr. Krabs. All right.
Hip hip!
All right, Mr. Krabs.
So here's a question. Have you guys ever wanted to see a shirtless Mr. Krabs? Well, I haven't, and don't worry, I'm not gonna really show you, but this mistake gives us a taste of it, as every time Mr. Krabs jumps, when he says hip hip, if we look at his shirt, right, his white undershirt that he normally wears, as a matter of fact, here's a quick PNG of Mr. Krabs. As you can see, he has this white undershirt on underneath. Yeah, when he says hip hip, his white undershirt just disappears for a split second. So like I told you, shirtless Mr. Krabs, I got you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right, let's keep it moving. Another mistake.
Fella, when do I start?
This one's weird and I don't really have an explanation for it. There might be some joke I'm missing, but when SpongeBob says, "So, when do I start?" after being hired, the screen just randomly shakes for a split second. This is another one where you kind of need to see it in slow motion, so I'm gonna play it in slow motion with the audio. Take a look at this. First up, we're kicking things off with a banger of an episode. This one is a classic. It's SpongeBob Meets the Strangler. And believe it or not, I've got 4 mistakes in this one episode, dude. Let's get into it.
So we're all alone now.
Just you, me, and the floorboards.
We're completely alone.
Oh, yeah.
In that case...
Okay, so this first one's pretty funny. You guys need to listen closely. So throughout this episode, we get multiple shots of the Tattletale Strangler having like a regular hand, all right? As you can see, he has 10 fully functional fingers. There are so many shots. Here's another shot where we can see he has like a regular hand with fingers. And here's even another shot where this dude's got fingers, okay? Remember this. As randomly in the episode, in later scenes, his fingers will randomly be replaced with fins. This is a thing in SpongeBob. Some fish have fins, some fish have actual hands, but it doesn't change halfway throughout the episode. This was a major mistake here because again, he has hands as you can see right here. And then in this shot, he has fins. So like what? Here's mistake number 2 from SpongeBob Meets the Strangler.
Let's bugger some more!
This next one's pretty straightforward. First, let's take a look at a PNG of Pearl, all right, Mr. Krabs' daughter, Pearl the whale, right here. And you'll notice that her face has this white area right here. This part of her face is white. Remember, it's white. As when Pearl enters the party for the second time, that white part of her face is randomly colored gray. It's not that big of a deal, like you wouldn't notice this while watching the episode, but look at this side by side, and yeah, they got Pearl's design incorrect in this one shot. And poor Pearl, man, hopefully it goes back to normal. I've got more though. Here's mistake number 3.
I'm doing the parking lot for early morning litter patrol. Litter. Looks like someone missed the trash basket, huh?
This one is really, really funny, and this is the type of mistake that once I point it out, every time you rewatch the episode, you'll see it. But okay, so when SpongeBob goes out of the Krusty Krab to clean up litter, if we take a look at his pant legs, there's something like incredibly wrong. That's right, they're black. And this isn't like a design change or something, as like seconds later in the next shot, they go back to brown, which is what they're supposed to be. So yeah, this one shot where they're black is just totally a mistake, dude. Like, I don't even know how they made this mistake. Like, look at this. But yeah, let's head over to mistake number 4 from SpongeBob Meets the Strangler. Like I told you, 4 mistakes in one episode. Damn.
Wait for it.
Okay, this one's light to be fair, but come on, like the past 3 I just covered were really bad mistakes. This one is admittedly light, but it's closer to the beginning of the episode. Now, before SpongeBob puts his slip in to time in or check in for work, this clock right here is moving, all right? Remember, it's moving. But after SpongeBob puts in his slip, the clock just stops moving randomly, which is not what would happen. The clock would just keep on going because it's a regular clock, so like what? This one seems like more of an animation glitch. I don't think it was a mistake, but hey, mistakes happen, glitches happen, and we've got plenty more coming up. And guys, just so you know, the mistakes coming up are even worse than any of the 4 I just covered. So stay tuned. Let's head over to another episode.
Oh, that sounds like a quarter crying for help.
My son just dropped that quarter.
How do I know he didn't steal it?
As you guys know, Squidward can really not stand SpongeBob or Patrick, so just imagine what would happen if he got trapped with them in a well. Well, that's literally what happens in the episode, Wishing You Well. A really, really good SpongeBob episode from all the way back in like season 4. You guys know what the drill is though. Let's spot some mistakes. Try to comment the mistake before I come back in and like break them down, guys, but yeah, let's do it.
I'm free! Squidward, what were you doing down there? I didn't approve any overtime? Or were you sneaking here?
Okay, so first up, it takes place in the clips you guys just saw when Mr. Krabs says, I didn't approve of any overtime. Let's take a look at Mr. Krabs' eyelashes, and we'll notice that his eyelashes just were not colored in at all. They're just transparent and see-through. Normally, Mr. Krabs' eyelashes look like this. They're like kind of like an orangey color, and more importantly, they're colored in. But the animators slipped up a little bit during this scene because those eyelashes have no color at all, dude. And here's mistake number 2 from Wishing You Well.
Patrick, get off of me! I told you I am claustrophobic.
Nice try, Squidward, but there's no Santa Claus here.
So as I mentioned at the beginning, in this episode, SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick all get trapped in this well together, all right? And when they're all trapped down there, you'll notice that Squidward is wearing his brown shirt, all right? This shirt right here, that he literally always wears. Now, here's the problem. We eventually get this shot where Patrick is sitting on Squidward, which would be terrible. Imagine Patrick's big booty sitting on you, that yacht. I'll pass. But in that shot, if you look closely, Squidward is randomly missing his brown shirt, despite wearing it in all of the other scenes prior and after. Like literally, if we jump to just a couple of seconds before this, he's wearing the shirt, and then when Patrick is sitting on him, his shirt is just gone. So very, very weird mistake here, and I've got more. Here's mistake number 3 from Wishing You Well.
No one's wishes are coming true. Maybe I just didn't dig deep enough. What do you say, Patrick? Are you ready to dig for some magic?
This one is a classic. I might have even covered it in a previous episode before, but when SpongeBob says, what do you say, Patrick? For a few frames, his mouth is just gone. Poof, it's just missing. How do you forget to draw a character's mouth? I don't know, but it's gone. There's no mouth there. Let's keep it rolling though, guys, and stay tuned. I'm saving the worst mistake for last, and you don't want to miss the random mistake of the day. Let's keep it moving.
Next bus to Bikini Bottom.
Next bus leaves in 5 seconds.
See, Cartoon Corey, he's always got you guys covered. We're back with more classics. We're going to Rock Bottom, baby. One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes. I think any like 90s kid or 2000s kid loves this episode. Modern SpongeBob is really cool, but Rock Bottom is the perfect example of why old school SpongeBob is the best. Even old school SpongeBob has mistakes though. It's actually where a lot of the mistakes are, guys, is in season 1, 2, and 3, and Rock Bottom is no exception. Here's the first mistake. Let's take a look. This first one is kind of minor. As you guys know, SpongeBob is a sponge, so he has pores all over him. He has these holes, and they're all usually in the exact same place. Like, look at this shot of SpongeBob from the first episode. Look at where the holes are, and then look at this shot from like a modern day episode of SpongeBob, and you'll see if we do a side-by-side. The holes or pores are always pretty much in the exact same area. Well, in one scene in this episode, when SpongeBob is sneaking up on the bus, look, his holes are missing. He just has like none of them. There might be a few there that I can't see due to the angle, but for the most part, he's missing his pores, which is probably due to some laziness by the animators, but I mean, it was like 1999. I'll give them a break. 2D animation's really hard. Anyways, though, here's mistake number 2 from Rock Bottom.
Home at last.
Don't worry, SpongeBob, I'm coming back
This one is really funny, and once I break it down, it'll really make sense. It might not make a ton of sense at first, but at the very end of the episode, SpongeBob uses his balloon and he finally gets out of rock bottom and is on his way back home to Conch Street. Now, if we look at this shot right here of like Bikini Bottom, and we look at SpongeBob's house in particular, it looks like very different from the rest of the frame, almost as if the image was just digitally inserted onto a pre-existing background. Like, look at SpongeBob's house. It literally looks like Mans went into Photoshop, cut out his house, pressed Control-C to copy, and then just pasted it on this image. Like, it's so clearly just added in post, which isn't a mistake, but looks so weird. Also, if SpongeBob's house is there, then shouldn't Squidward's and Patrick's also be there? Yeah, kind of a messy shot. Let's keep it moving though and head over to something that's actually a pretty bad mistake. Up next, we have the season 5 episode, A Flea in Her Dome, which is all about Sandy bringing a flea back from Texas and it getting like in her dome and just, you know, infesting it. The plot has a lot of potential, but not a lot of fans like this episode. It's just kind of mediocre, if I'm gonna be honest with you, but it has mistakes. It has one mistake, and let's get right into it. This one will actually be really hard for you guys to spot, so I'm gonna ask you guys, try to comment the mistake before I come back in. Like I said though, it's gonna be hard. You can do it though, gang. Roll that footage.
It sure is good to have you back, Sandy.
Did you guys catch it? Because it even took me a couple of seconds, all right? It has to do with this character right here, Incidental 13, who normally has yellow eyes, okay? It's literally like I'm playing Where's Waldo, if any of you guys know what that is, but Incidental 13 is right here, and you'll notice that they messed up and gave both of his eyes a different color. His right eye is yellow, but his left eye, as you can see right here, is white, which is totally a mistake. Like, that never happens. Characters usually either have yellow eyes or white eyes, so it's not that big of a deal, but I got you. Get wrecked. Here's a mistake. I caught you. Get exposed. And we've got more. Let's head over to another classic episode. There are so many good Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes, but one that really stands out to me is Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, which is what we're covering next. See, I wasn't lying. Next up, I had another classic. And this one in particular has 3 mistakes in total. You guys know what to do. Maybe you guys can find the mistakes before I come back in, but roll that footage.
Maybe the conch signal is too much responsibility, but how would you like to spend the rest of the afternoon on patrol?
I may have covered this mistake before, so if I have, I apologize, but when Mermaid Man tells SpongeBob that the conch signal is too much responsibility for him, he's not wrong, to be honest. If we look closely, the television in his house shows a solid red screen instead of a black screen or a moving picture, which was definitely a mistake on the animator's end. Like, why is it just a solid red screen? It should be black or like a moving image on the screen. It wouldn't just be red. So yeah, totally a mistake. I think they were using the red as somewhat of a green screen to replace footage on the screen. As a matter of fact, let's try it right now.
Maybe the conch signal is too much responsibility, but how would you like to spend the rest of the afternoon on patrol?
Boom, see? Definitely a mistake. That was meant to be like a green screen or something. But anyways, let's head over to another mistake from this episode.
Hey, can I drive?
What do you know about driving the invisible boatmobile?
Like the windshield wipers are right here.
Don't touch that button, it's the...
This one's pretty straightforward, and it's only a mistake because it only happens for one frame and then goes back to normal, but for one frame, in this shot right here, SpongeBob's eyes are covered by his headband. This doesn't happen again in the episode. It seems to be just some sort of layering glitch where like his eyes, the layer of his eyes went underneath the headband, I don't know. But because it only happens for a frame and then goes back to this, it's definitely a mistake. And I've still got one more from Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, roll the footage.
The conch signal! To the invisible boatmobile!
Did you guys catch it? Well, when Mermaid Man says the conch signal, the right side of his belt turns orange for a split second. Here's a PNG of our boy right here, and you can see his belt is never that color, it's this color. So it turning orange in this frame is totally a mistake. And we've got more, but guys, you know what time it is? Do you guys know it's about to go down? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob mistakes to talk about mistakes in a random cartoon suggested by you. And one that's heavily been suggested is Haley's on it. But yeah, the episode is UFWO, and it has to do with this character right here, Haley, the main character, her overalls, okay? Roll the footage.
So you two are we're going to be spending all week working together? That's totally perfect!
Did ya guys catch it? Well, when Christine is talking to Scott and Haley about Logan for the first time, in the first scene, we can see that Haley's right overall isn't folded, okay? We can see it's not folded. But then literally like a second later, it is now randomly folded. This isn't necessarily a groundbreaking mistake, but it's not like Haley had enough time to unfold it. It seems the animators drew it like this and then forgot and drew it like this, all in a matter of seconds, so yeah. Kind of a weak mistake. Hopefully you guys understand now what I mean. I want to do Haley's on it, but the mistakes that I've found in it, they're just not significant mistakes. So yeah, back to SpongeBob. Do let me know in the comments, guys, some cartoons you want me to cover for random mistake of the day. And make sure to upvote other people's comments. So go to the comments right now, and if you see somebody comment a show that you like, upvote their comment right now. All right, back to SpongeBob. We are back, and we have the episode Grooming Gary, which is a good episode. It's actually kind of an iffy episode, but I like the plot personally. It's all about SpongeBob entering Gary into like a pet competition, and it is not Gary's scene. Like all of the pets there are all like preppy, like spoiled pets, and Gary just does not fit in. Take a look at some of these funny clips, and then we're gonna get right into the mistake.
Look at your luxurious mane. Every self-respecting snail has one. The glossy painted shell.
Yeah, poor Gary. Gary's just, he's a good boy. He doesn't need to go and hang out with all of these prissy, preppy pets. Enough about Gary though, let's expose some mistakes. There's one, and let's see if you guys can catch it.
Wow, Patrick, there's a whole lot of pet loving going on here today. Like these.
Yeah, so this one's pretty straightforward. If you pay close attention throughout the whole episode, the pet's owners will change throughout the episode. For example, at first we can see that this pet is with this owner right here, but then if we fast forward a little bit to later on in the episode, look, that pet is now with a completely different owner. Here's another example. We can see this pet is with this person right here, and if we fast forward a little bit, look, they're now with a completely different owner. So kind of a really bad mistake if you think about it. Here's one more example. You can see this pet is with this individual right here, remember? Because if we go to this scene, everything is changed and now they're with this owner, so crazy. Up next, we have a fairly new episode, Plain to See. This is from season 13, and to be honest, I actually really liked this episode. What I didn't like though are the 3 mistakes hidden in it. Here's the first one.
Ah, what a beautiful morning. Time to check the mail and see who loves.
Yeah, so this one's quick. It's pretty straightforward. If we even go back to the first season and we take a look at SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home, we'll notice that it has this window right here. Remember, it's always there. This window right here, I'm circling it. Well, at the beginning of Plain to See, as you guys just saw, SpongeBob's house is just randomly missing that window. It's weird because in later season 13 episodes, the window is back, so it's not like they removed it. They just forgot to draw it in this one shot, which is totally a mistake. And we've got more. Here's mistake number 2.
An aisle? Take the aisle.
Now this mistake is a lot worse. So a big part of this episode is that all the characters are on this plane, and of course there's going to be other passengers on the plane. Now as you guys know, when you go on a plane, if you guys have ever been on a plane before, you're assigned a seat. You don't get to just change seats randomly. But if you pay attention throughout the episode, the seats of certain passengers on the plane will just change randomly throughout the episode. For example, when we first see this dude right here, he's sitting here, but as the episode progresses, he completely changes seats and is over here now. Here's another example. We can see this incidental right here sitting in this seat, but then they just randomly change to over here. Maybe they're upgrading their seats mid-flight, but that's not a thing. This was definitely a mistake. I'm a total nerd for even noticing it, but yeah, let's keep it moving because we got another mistake from Plain to See. Roll that footage. This one's kinda similar to the last one, but it's a lot funnier. So throughout the episode, it's established that this incidental 41, is the pilot of the plane. So throughout the whole episode, this dude is in the pilot seat, flying the plane, keeping us all safe. Well, keeping SpongeBob and the gang safe. But here's the problem, right? We can see him right here as the pilot, incidental 41. But in the scene right before this, we can see him sitting right here in an aisle seat. I know some of you may think that there's multiple of incidentals, but in later seasons, there isn't. There's only supposed to be one of each incidental. To prove this too, take a look at Fred, right? Fred is a full-on character. Like, he's also incidental 1, right? But he's also Fred, the My Leg guy, and is his own character. And there isn't like 5 of Fred, there's 1 of him. So yeah, there wouldn't be 2 of incidental 41. Plus, guys, there's like 300 plus incidentals at this point. So reusing incidentals in the same scene is extremely lazy. There's no reason for them to do it. Anyways, though, I'm ranting. 2D animation is really hard, so we'll give them a break, okay? Like, 2D animation's really tough. But let's keep it moving and head over to another episode with more mistakes. Let's do it.
I recognize this goop. It comes from a baby spotted glistening meadow worm.
Dude, those things are worth a fortune.
Did you say fortune?
Next up, we have the episode Pet or Pests, all right? And we're gonna dive right into it. This first mistake is hilarious. Okay, so as you've seen, there's the scene where the worms almost get run over by this truck, right? But if we pause at the right frame and look inside, there's literally no driver in this truck. They just didn't draw a person in the truck operating it. To be fair, they do draw it in a way to kind of hide this fact, but you can tell there's no driver in here and just, yeah, I don't know who's driving this truck. It must be a ghost or just lazy animation. Probably that. Here's another mistake from Pet or Pests.
Great idea you had, Mr. Krabs.
Well, it's like they always say back in the old country, lad.
What's that?
I don't know. I've never been to the old country.
This one is really, really easy to miss, but towards the end of the episode, when SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs are selling the worms, I kind of want one. Would you guys buy one? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. Would you buy one? But yeah, when they're selling them, one of SpongeBob's green holes seems to turn red for like less than a second. It is only for like a couple frames, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that shouldn't be happening. This is probably more likely like an animation glitch, as opposed to a straight up mistake. Still pretty interesting though, and let's keep it moving. Let's head over to another episode. Next up, we have Mr. Krabs Takes a Vacation from Season 8. Season 8 is a really weird season. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the episodes from this season, but honestly, this is a really good episode that a lot of fans really like as well, so I do feel bad bringing up the mistakes, but it's time to expose the episode a little bit. Still a good episode, but it's got 3 mistakes. Here's the first one. Roll that footage. Try to comment the mistake before I come back in, okay? You can do it. Let's do this.
Ready for some fun? Who's ready to look at some vacation pictures?
Okay, so for this one, here's some context. Let's take a look at this PNG of Sandy. And you'll notice right away that Sandy's neck, all right, is always brown. It's the same color as her fur. You guys already know where I'm going with this because this is a very common mistake in SpongeBob. It happens like once a season. But yeah, her fur and her neck is always brown. But in that one scene in Mr. Krabs' house, look, Sandy's neck is white randomly instead of brown, making for a very straightforward mistake. How it happened, I don't know, but let's head over to another mistake that's also pretty bad.
Is it bathroom land? Because I could really use a bathroom right now.
Bathroom land! Oh, SpongeBob, you kill me.
This one's super easy to miss, but when Mr. Krabs is laughing and says, bathroom land, oh, SpongeBob, you kill me, his eyelashes are like weirdly transparent instead of brown for a few frames. Very, very, very weird. I don't know what happened here. They just forgot to color in his eyelashes. I'm zooming in and they just look really weird transparent. So big mistake. I got you. And here's another mistake.
Process in which the sheets of silver are pressed. This machine here is where we destroy old money by means of shredding.
All right, one more from Mr. Krabs Takes a Vacation. So throughout the episode, this character right here, Harold, also known as Incidental 40, this also further proves that there isn't multiple of every incidental. There's one of each of them because this is Incidental 40, but he has a name. His name's Harold. So remember this in the future, just saying. But yeah, this guy right here, throughout the episode, he wears a white shirt. But when Bill is explaining that they shred money, pretty much in the same scene, his shirt has just magically changed to a tan shirt. Man just changed his shirt in the middle of the episode, and then it returns back to normal in the next shot, which is wild. So first it looks like this, it's white, then it's tan, and then it goes back to being white all in a matter of like a couple minutes. So yeah, a mistake, and a good one. It's actually a very interesting mistake, and we've got plenty more coming up, so let's keep it rolling. Coming in hot, next up, we've got That Sinking Feeling, which in my opinion is a pretty underrated episode. episode. And you guys definitely agree, this is a very popular season 7 episode that a lot of fans have liked, especially when there are season 7 episodes that are poo-poo, they're garbage. That sinking feeling though is a pretty good one, so as I always say, I feel bad to expose some mistakes, but Cartoon Corey's gotta do what he's gotta do, right? So I'm gonna roll the footage and try to comment the mistake before I come back in and reveal it, all right? You guys can do it, let's do this.
Too hard.
Did you guys catch it? Well, when SpongeBob and Patrick throw their pickaxes into the air, it happens really, really fast, but SpongeBob's sleeve turns transparent for a couple of frames. Normally his sleeves are white, but in this one shot, it's like see-through, which is totally a mistake, a really bad mistake. The animators just simply forgot to color in one of his sleeves, and it looks really, really rough. And we've got more. Here's another mistake from that sinking feeling.
In my yard!
We're not playing in your yard, Squidward. We're playing in our yards.
This one's pretty straightforward, and I'll give Nickelodeon and Rough Draft Korea an excuse here, the people making the episode, that it could be due to the angle in which we see SpongeBob, but even if that's the case, it's still kinda lazy. As in this one shot right here, look, it kinda looks like SpongeBob is missing his right arm. Again, it could be due to the angle, but I mean, you would still be able to see SpongeBob's arm, so I do think that this was a lazy mistake. I don't think it was a blatant one or it was an accident, it was just them being kinda lazy. It happens though, it happens, you know, 2D animation's hard, but guys, you know what time it is? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in another cartoon suggested by you guys. And I got you, don't worry, Cartoon Corey listens, we're doing Gravity Falls again. The episode is Boys Crazy, and we have 3 mistakes. Roll the first one.
Before you do anything crazy, I want you to hear this. Hope this works.
So this first one's pretty simple, and it kind of applies to all cartoons, but especially in Gravity Falls, all characters only have 3 fingers and 1 thumb. As you guys already know, like a regular hand has 4 fingers and 1 thumb, but in cartoons, even SpongeBob, they usually have 3 fingers and 1 thumb. Remember this. As at the very beginning of the episode of Boys Crazy, when this character right here, Robbie, opens the case to his CD, he has 5 fingers on both hands, which is just not a thing and is 100% a mistake, because if we just fast forward a little bit in the episode and look at Robbie again, look, our dude has 3 fingers and 1 thumb, so they messed up for sure. Not that big of a deal though. Here's mistake number 2.
That is one big hamster tube. Someone's coming! Oh. Ah! Trying hard not to let my brain explode.
This one's really, really easy to miss, but when Candy, Grenda, and Mabel find the boys inside the cage, there's a quick frame, a very, very quick frame, a brief frame, where Candy's skirt just disappears. Pretty inappropriate, if you ask me. Like, get that girl her skirt back. This is a kid show. All right, one more from Boys Crazy, guys. One more mistake.
Hi guys. I'm sorry I went bonkers. A catchy song made me realize that you were right. Can you ever forgive me?
This one's kind of similar to the last one, but when Mabel apologizes to Grenda, in one frame, her mouth just completely disappears, like she's got no mouth, it's gone. She ain't gonna be yapping at all anymore, because that mouth is gone. Anyways, let's head back over to SpongeBob, guys, the good old yellow spongy boy. Do comment down below what other cartoons you want me to cover on Random Mistake of the Day in the future, even anime if you want to, anything, let me know. But anyways, back to SpongeBob. This is our last one, we're back to SpongeBob. It is Pat Hart's squid. And this one's all about Squidward being forced to live at Patrick's house, and you can just imagine how this goes. So here's a bunch of clips because it's hilarious, and then we'll get right into the mistake.
I wouldn't stay with either of you two if the entire ocean was on fire.
So there's a chance. Yeah, I identify myself.
Patrick?
That is correct. May I ask who's calling?
See what I'm saying? Really, really good episode. I feel bad for Squidward in this one.
My turn!
Okay, so let's take a look at a random PNG of Patrick, and you'll notice that his eyes have a black outline, all right? His eyes have this black outline all around his eyes, like most SpongeBob characters have a black outline. But in the clips you guys just saw, right before Patrick starts dancing, the outline in his eyes just disappears for one frame. Here's a side-by-side of him without it and him with the outline, and yeah, it looks kind of weird. I would never notice this like randomly on my own while watching the episode though, like this is such a small mistake, but it's still technically a mistake, right guys? So I still wanted to mention it even though it's pretty weak. Here's mistake number 2 though.
So,
So, who you gonna stay with till you find a new house, Squidward? Me or Patrick?
I wouldn't stay with either of you two.
This one I'll make it very, very quick. But when SpongeBob is talking to Squidward at the beginning of the episode, some of the holes on his face briefly disappear while he's moving. If we look at him in other shots from this episode, this spot right here is the spot that's missing, like these holes right here. And let's do a side by side and you'll see how awkward it looks when SpongeBob is missing these holes. Like this is totally a mistake.
Hey, all you bottom feeders. If you've already eaten, well, you might want to make room for seconds.
What?
That's right, Krabs. Now we have a secret formula, and it's in a bottle, and you can't have it.
One of the more underrated and underappreciated episodes from SpongeBob season 7 or 8, it's either 7 or 8, is Chum Fritakashe. I probably said it wrong. Let me do a quick Google search. Okay, I just searched and it's Chum Fricassi, I think. I don't know. But anyways, this episode has one mistake and this one is actually like really bad. Take a look at this ridiculousness.
Sir, Crimple O'Rapper. That's my name.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm not showing any O-Rapper.
Reservation? In this sinkhole?
There's a 2-year wait for a table.
If it isn't Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. Now just follow me. I believe I have a table reserved just for you.
Like I said, this was pretty bad. It's actually really bad, but when the people are laughing at SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs and the camera pans to Old Man Jenkins, there's actually a magic, mystical glass of water just floating outside of the table. Like it's literally just floating there. Like look at it. This is some Harry Potter stuff right here. I guess Old Man Jenkins is from Gryffindor. He's a wizard, but yeah, that glass of water is floating and that is like a really bad mistake. So let's keep it moving and head over to another episode though. Let's go.
There appears to be a Krabby Patty napping in progress. There can be only one culprit. Plankton!
The next episode we're talking about is the season 1 banger, Fun. Who remembers this song?
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
Dude, what a classic. I love old school SpongeBob. Unfortunately though, I've got some childhoods to ruin today, and here's the first one. Roll the clip. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
I do not see it.
Okay, I see it. It's a Krabby Patty, okay? I couldn't help it.
Did you guys catch that? As it's really bad. But while Plankton says he took the Krabby Patty, let's slow down the footage and take a look at the bottom of his legs as they just glitch out and keep disappearing and reappearing. It looks really weird. I don't know what's going on here, and that is definitely an animation mistake. This dude's legs are just tweaking. They're tweaking out. And there's more mistakes in this iconic episode. Take a look at this, and here's a little hint. Don't only use your eyes for this one, also use your ears, because it also has to do with audio.
For he's a jolly good rookie, but he's a jolly good rookie, but he's a jolly good rookie.
This next mistake has to do with audio. So if you guys missed the mistake in those clips, it's understandable because it's, you know, it's audio related. But let me explain. During the singing of For He's a Jolly Good Rookie, when they're celebrating SpongeBob for defeating Plankton, I want you guys to take a look at the crowd. As from what we can see, they are all male fish, all right? Male fish in the crowd. But if you listen closely, there's a female voice heard singing along. Now, of course, we're progressive here. Don't get it twisted. You can be whatever you want to be, but this episode came out in like the late 90s, so this was definitely a mistake. Listen to the clip again right here. You'll hear it's a female voice.
For he's a jolly good rookie, but he's a jolly good rookie, but he's a jolly good rookie.
Like I told you, it's a female voice. You just heard it, and look at the crowd. It's all men, so this was technically a mistake given the time. And there's another mistake in this episode. Take a look at this one. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Stay tuned, as after this mistake, we're going to be getting into the craziest mistakes in the video, so again, stay tuned. But staying on topic, if you look at the clams' mouths in this scene, they are out of sync with the animation during the Fun song. This one's really hard to catch, so to make things easy, I'm just gonna play the clip again, but this time in slow motion, and again, keep an eye on those clams' mouths.
Down here in the deep blue sea, a mysterious cookie jar theft has rocked the Star household.
So we always be talking about good old-fashioned SpongeBob, and don't get it twisted, I love this yellow sponge, okay? But I also love this pink and dumb starfish. So let's take a break from SpongeBob for one section. We're gonna go back to SpongeBob, don't worry. But let's take a break for a section and talk about the Patrick Star Show. Keep those eyes peeled. Let's see if you can spot it.
Johnny Law shows up.
Okay, guys, hold hands.
This one is just like really funny, dude. When you see it, you'll laugh because I have no idea how the animators would have made this mistake. But when incidental 118D gets out of the car, she is bright pink with blonde hair. As you can see right here, I'm zooming in. I really want you guys to remember this. It's important to the mistake. This shorty right here is pink with blonde hair. She's looking like a Barbie. But then in the very next shot, she completely changes and looks like this. To be fair, this is how she normally looks in other episodes. Like the whole pink and blonde hair thing was just for this episode. But shorty literally just changes her entire color scheme in a matter of seconds. First she's pink with blonde hair, and now she looks like this. To my girls watching though, which one did you prefer? Which color scheme looks more fresh, right? Which one did you prefer? But anyways, here's another mistake from this episode. This is another funny one, but when Mrs. Puff in this scene yells, "Hit the brakes," take a look at her hair for this frame as it's gone. Her hair literally just disappears for an entire frame randomly and then comes back, which is hilarious, but not as hilarious as the mistake in this next episode. Let's keep the video moving, guys. Want to know what would be a ton of fun? Going on a family vacation with SpongeBob's mom and dad. And that's exactly what happens in the episode, A SquarePants Family Vacation. And it's a good episode. The plot is like fire in this episode. But of course, the episode has mistakes. There's 3 of them to be exact. And here's the first one, guys. Keep those eyes peeled. Let's see if you can spot it. This one is gonna require us slowing down some footage, okay? Because it happens so quickly and it's very easy to miss. So, when this boat is crashing through the Bikini Bottom outskirts mega mall, there are these 2 incidentals right here who are walking near the edge. Now, if we slow down the footage as this scene takes place and the crash happens, these 2 incidentals disappear way too early. You can see they're supposed to disappear a little bit later on, but if you slow it down, you can see they kind of just cut out of there way too early, and they just cease to exist. They just go poof, and it looks very, very weird. But that's not it for weird occurrences in this episode. This next mistake is even weirder, dude. Look at this.
Welcome, friends. Please come in. I'm so glad you all could make it. Tonight is going to be a magical evening filled with magic.
I told you guys it was weirder. I mean, look at this. When SpongeBob says, "I'm so glad you could all make it," our boy Mr. Krabs is not very crabby as he doesn't have any legs. They're just missing. It's very subtle because it's kind of closer to the bottom of the screen, but where is that dude's legs? He's missing those skinny red legs, man. They're gone. Like I said though, this episode has 3 mistakes, so surprisingly there's another one. 3 mistakes in one episode, damn. Here's the third one.
I can't wait to get there. How about you?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I really can't. I've been in this confined space too long already. Help! Get me out of here!
All right, let's turn down the volume back there.
I have an idea. Why don't we play a road game to pass the time?
This one is admittedly more subtle, but it's still like a mistake. So, Patrick's seatbelt, as you can see here, it's on while he's viewing the map. They're in the car, and he has his seatbelt on, you know, that's good. Kids, if you're ever in the car, make sure to wear your seatbelts, just like Patrick is right here. But when Margaret SquarePants, SpongeBob's mom, suggests playing a road game to pass the time, Patrick's seatbelt just disappears. I don't think the dude took his seatbelt off. What I think happened here is the animators originally drew him with the seatbelt, but But then we're feeling a little lazy for this scene because, you know, Patrick has to move around and just didn't draw the seatbelt again, making for a continuity error, a pretty bad one. And that's not it. We've got more mistakes in today's video, guys. Stay tuned. This next one is nutty.
Don't take me! No. Don't take me! Please! I'm too young! No!
Let's take another really quick break from SpongeBob and talk about another show from the SpongeBob universe, Camp Coral. Again, I'm gonna make it quick. The episode is Tag You're It, and here's the mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it. So during the scene where all of the kids go outside to play, before it starts raining, okay, we can see these cabins in the distance behind SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. All right, remember these cabins right here. It's while it's sunny out. But then, when it rains and ruins their fun, it becomes a rainy day, and they go running back inside. Take a look as those cabins are gone. Here's a side-by-side. It's like the cabins were there, and then they were too lazy to put the cabins in again when they went back out. And this is the same shot, and this happened in a matter of seconds. So there's no reason for the cabins not to be there. Anyways, we're just gonna head back over to good old-fashioned SpongeBob, but a quick reminder, I respond to the comments of all subscribers. So right now, guys, click subscribe. Click that button. Do it. Because if you subscribe and then comment, I'll respond to your comment for sure within the next 7 days. So do it. Write your comment right now. All right, back to the mistakes, back to SpongeBob. Plankton and Mr. Krabs have had a long-lasting rivalry, but things really heat up in the episode Move It or Lose It. Now, the episode has tons of mistakes, but I really want to show you guys what the stakes are for this episode, Move It or Lose It, so here's a little bit of a plot summary.
The Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket are located too close together. One of your restaurants is going to have to be bulldozed.
Bulldozed? 99 feet!
So, which one of us is gonna get bulldozed?
That's for you two to decide. You have 24 hours to decide which of you moves. That's the law around here.
Your customers won't miss a thing.
At least I have customers.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm gonna put together a petition of customer signatures.
Petition? Squidward! SpongeBob! You two take these petitions to save the Krusty Krab and secure as many signatures as you can.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to sign a petition to save the Krusty Krab?
Why would I want to do that? The food there is dangerous.
Sir, where did you get this?
It was on my windshield. They're all over the place.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, why are your patties dangerous?
My patties are dangerous because they're so,
delicious!
Kid's got a point.
Now, there's something you don't see every day. It appears they are actually giving Plankton money.
Oh, forget this restaurant nonsense, Karen. I should have opened a yard sale business years ago. Looks like it's time to proceed to the next phase. Who wants free money?
You see what Plankton's doing, don't you? He's undermining the democratic process by leveraging his temporary financial windfall in order to buy every signature in Bikini Bottom.
Like I said, there is a lot at stake in this episode. Like, it's either the Chum Bucket or the Krusty Krab, which, you know, I would pick the Krusty Krab. I don't know about the Chum Bucket personally. I'm not trying to eat chum. Just look at this stuff. It looks disgusting. Here's a question for you guys. Comment your answer. Would you pick the Krusty Krab or the Chum Bucket? Let me know. But anyways, more importantly, this episode has a mistake. I mean, it's what you guys clicked on the video for. So here's the mistake. Take a look at this.
Free money!
Okay, one at a time, please!
This is another example of SpongeBob laziness, okay? When everyone comes to Plankton for free money, I would take some free money too. Take a look at the crowd as there are many duplicated fish. Like, look at this dude. He appears like 2 to 3 times at once. Or this incidental here who appears again 2 to 3 times at once. As I've said in many other videos, guys, there is like over 200 incidentals, so there is no excuse for just reusing the same ones. This is just lazy. It's lazy. Not as lazy as the mistakes in this next episode, guys. This is where things get really good. Watch this.
What do you say, Mrs. Puff? Let's get this party started.
Let's head over to season 8 for this next one. I'm talking about the episode Demolition Doofus. Here are some hilarious clips from this episode. It's a funny one.
So what do you say, Captain Newtfish? Will you enter him in the derby for old time's sake?
But I don't know. He looks kinda soft.
Here, SpongeBob, hold this.
You know, SpongeBob isn't a very good driver, as we've seen over the years, but I guess that kind of helped them in this episode. But anyways, here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Here's a little hint. It has to do with this character right here, Incidental 41.
First up, veined crossing guards everywhere, the Cruncher!
So this admittedly is another nitpick, kind of, but it is still like a blatant mistake. But as I said, Incidental 41, right? So take a look at this scene right here and take a look at Incidental 41's lips. As you can see, they're like a pale yellow. Right here, I'm zooming in, remember the color of those lips. But then in the very next scene, literally seconds later, poof, take a look at the lips now, they're blue. I doubt Incidental 41 randomly went and put like lipstick on or something. This was just a weird mistake. First, they're like pale yellow, as you can see here, and now they're blue. Like, what? What happened? The same can be said for this next mistake right here. Let's see if you guys can spot this one.
Oh dear, I think I'm in that fellow's way. Engage turn signals. Adjust mirrors. Hands at 10 and 2. And finally, fly!
This one is really, really easy to miss, but take a look at this. As you can see, SpongeBob lifts up his left leg to floor it, all right? He lifts up his left leg. But then, like, in the next shot, his right foot is shown on the gas instead, when it was his left leg that he, like, lifted up. Not that big of a deal, kind of a minor mistake, but it's still a mistake, and guys, I've got another one. Check out this.
Are you still
alive? Put it in drive. Thanks, Mrs. Puff, you're the best.
So take a look at this guy right here, the Cruncher, all right? I don't want to mess with this guy. I don't want no beefs with this man right here. But anyways, look at him. As you can see, he has these back fins. It's a part of his design. They're on his back. They're right here. You can see them. Well, when the Cruncher drives away from SpongeBob after he drives over him and nearly ends his life, take a look at the Cruncher's back as those fins are just gone. They're missing. What happened? Fish don't just randomly lose their fins. So this was another mistake. They drew him with fins, as you can see here, but then in this scene, they were lazy and forgot about them.
One Krabby Patty, hold the mayonnaise.
I would like one Krabby Patty.
One Krabby Patty, hold the mayonnaise.
Actually, I want one with extra mayo.
Coming in hot is the episode Planet of the Jellyfish, which in my opinion is an episode that isn't talked about a lot when it comes to SpongeBob. The episode's pretty good. Of course though, it has some mistakes. It has 2 to be exact. Here's the first one.
Whoa, look at all the customers.
One Krabby Patty, hold the mayonnaise.
So take a look at this dude over here, Incidental 27. As you can see, he has a tail fin. It's right here, all right? You can see it right here. Well, the mistake is that when SpongeBob first enters the Krusty Krab during this scene, Incidental 27 is missing that tail fin. And later on in the episode, when he's seen growling at SpongeBob, he has his tail again. Well, his fin tail again. Yeah, definitely a mistake here. For this one shot, it's just missing, and that's not supposed to happen. This next mistake also wasn't supposed to happen. Keep those eyes peeled, and let's see if you guys can spot it.
You two stay out of trouble. Bye.
Did you guys catch it? Well, take a look at our favorite little snail over here, Gary. More specifically, his shell and the colors on his shell. As you can see, the shell is pink, and then there's like these purple or bluish dots on it, and then there's like this red swirl on it, right? All right, you can see it right here. Well, whoever animated this episode needs to be educated on our favorite little snail, as just before Gary is engulfed by a gelin, take a look at this dude's shell, as that's not right. The colors have been inverted. I'm gonna do a side-by-side. This is how it's supposed to look on the left. Yeah, on the right, that is a mistake. It's not supposed to look like that. Gary, you poor snail. But let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes. Let's go. Next up is the season 12 episode, Farmer Bob, which is, in my opinion, a good season 12 episode. I actually enjoyed it, but before we get into the mistakes, here is a really funny clip from this episode. I'm gonna make it real quick, guys.
I got lots of licenses. Driver's license, fishing license, marriage license. Oh, here it is! Tractor license!
Okay, let's get into the mistakes. Well, the mistake. There's only one in this episode, and it's like really bad. Roll the footage. This one, it's really easy to like not catch the mistake, guys. Even me, when I was looking for this one, I had a hard time. But during this exterior nighttime shot of the barn, when this tractor drives by and everybody is supposed to be dancing, the characters dancing are not actually looped correctly. It's supposed to be like a smooth loop where they dance and it just keeps on repeating. But as you can see right here, I'm showing it in slow motion and I'm zooming in. The loop is just off and it looks really weird, guys. This was a bad mistake. And we have more. Let's head over to another episode. Do not click off the video.
This must be a whipped cream holder.
The episode Sports is a pretty good episode from season 10. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. What I know for sure though is that this episode has 2 spicy mistakes. Here's the first one. Take a look.
Play the squirrel! Play the squirrel!
See you on the court, Your Highness.
I will admit this first one is a tiny bit of a nitpick, but it's still like a real mistake, all right? So pay attention to this character right here, Incidental 64. As you can see, their eyes are white, all right? Like you can see it right here on your screen. They have white eyes. Well, when Sandy and Squidward are about to play some basketball, when they're about to shoot some hoops, make some dunks, Kobe! While this is happening, Incidental 64's eyes are like a deep, murky blue color instead of white, which is totally a mistake. Normally they look like this, they're beautiful white eyes, but in this one shot they're like this random color. Again, I'm kind of nitpicking, this is a subtle mistake, but this next mistake in this episode is much worse. Take a look at this.
Oh, that was a foul!
Tell it to your mama, Squidward!
Mama!
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, so take a look at this shot of the crowd, and you'll notice that there are a ton of duplicates of incidentals, which is super lazy. There is more than enough incidentals, guys, that they could have filled out this entire crowd with different incidentals. But look, this one incidental appears like 3 or 2 times in the same shot, which is very, very lazy. But let's keep the video moving and head over to, yet again, another episode with more mistakes. Out of SpongeBob's 13 seasons, I'd say that seasons 7 and 8 are the most like underrated seasons, where people don't talk about them as much. And even when I look at the episodes released in those seasons, there's a ton of episodes like I don't even recognize. One of those episodes was Love That Squid, which is pretty good after I watched it. Take a look at some of these hilarious scenes.
Squidward, would you please pass the roasted kelp?
Here you go, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I think she's giving me the cutesy eye. So, do you hang out here often?
Well, this is my home, silly.
Who is that? She's gaga gaga. She's gaga 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 gaga. She's wow.
Bruh, Squidward be simping in this episode. My boy, a big simping for Squilvia over here, which I don't blame him. She's kind of cute though. But anyways, this episode has 2 mistakes. Here's the first one.
Well, since no one seems to want to take my order, I'll go elsewhere.
What? She's leaving.
Oh, no, she's not. Hang on, buddy.
Finally, some service around here.
Hey, in which way? Remember, Ray, the 8th day.
This one's like really weird and just random, dude, but when Squilvia walks away from the register, a motor appears in the boat. Like, it just appears. It then disappears once they go to the front of the dining room, but I mean, where did it come from? This motor just randomly appears and then disappears? What? Let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. I got lots of content for you guys today.
Something wonderful is about to happen to you.
I love puppies.
You will soon injure your legs.
We've been talking about a bunch of older SpongeBob episodes in today's video. Episodes from like season 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. But it's time for some modern SpongeBob, some widescreen. So let's talk about the episode Lame and Fortune. Here's the first mistake.
La 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 la. Time for a refill.
What is my future?
Yeah, so in the scene right after SpongeBob takes Plankton's fortune cookies, Lenny is shown without his suit. The character Lenny, this guy right here, is shown without his suit on in the wide shot. For a majority of this episode, he's wearing his suit. But in this one shot, his suit just isn't there. They just forgot to draw it. And then in the next shot, the next scene where Squidward asks for a break, look, dude is back in his suit again. So he was wearing his suit, then he wasn't wearing the suit, and now the suit is back on. Like, don't get me wrong, the suit is fresh, but let's have some continuity here, Nickelodeon. This was a mistake. And that's still not it, guys. I've got one more mistake for this episode. You need the eyes of a hawk to catch this one, and hopefully you guys did catch this one because it's kind of a classic mistake. So, when Incidental 114 and Incidental 115 are dancing, look at them, they've got the moves. Take a look at the Galley Grub menu, as it's spelt as G-A-L-L-Y, grub, when it's supposed to be G-A-L-L-E-Y, grub. So, another mistake there.
We need to bust out of this joint. Any thoughts?
We could ask them nicely.
Yeah, I can see why you're still in jail.
The episode Jailbreak is an interesting episode. It's all about Plankton getting put in jail, like he gets locked up. But he eventually joins forces with his cellmates to break out of jail and get that Krabby Patty secret formula, or at least he tries. Now this episode only has one mistake, but this one mistake is actually like really bad. It happens really quickly. I'm gonna play the clip. Let's see if you guys can spot the mistake, all right? Let's do this, roll that footage.
Bring me the Krabby Patty formula!
Sorry, boss. We looked everywhere for it, but we can't find it.
Did you try looking in the safe?
Did you guys catch it? Like I said, it happens really fast. It has to do with SpongeBob's pants. But when the whale cellmate turns around and looks at the safe in the Krusty Krab, look, SpongeBob's pant leg color is like randomly white instead of brown. I don't even need to show you guys this, but this is how SpongeBob normally looks, and as you can see, his pant legs are brown like they've been since season 1. But in this one scene of this one episode, yeah, they messed up big time, because why are his pants brown? It looks so weird. Not as weird as this next episode set of mistakes, guys, be prepared because these are gonna blow your mind. Let's head over to another episode. I know I'm kind of weird for this, but one of my favorite SpongeBob characters is Squidward, and it's awesome when Squidward gets like his own episodes where he's like the main character of the episode. And this is what happens in the insanely bizarre and wacky episode Squidward and Clarinet Land, where somehow Squidward ends up in this place, Clarinet Land, which is just wild. Like, look at how weird this place is. What's really strange in this episode though are the two mistakes. This first one though is just wow. Roll the footage.
You calling me a liar?
I don't appreciate your tone.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
This is a...
Definitely one of the worst mistakes I've covered. So as you guys can see, when the bald eagle over here grabs Squidward with his tongue, ew, for about one frame, this frame right here, Squidward's eyes are completely out of position. They're like behind his head, when of course they should be facing the eagle. Like, how did this happen? Like, what? If you thought this was bad though, take a look at mistake number 2 from Squidward and Clarinet Land. Like, this episode is full of mistakes.
Squidward, are you okay?
It's such a nightmare.
Did you guys catch that one? So when Squidward mutters such a nightmare, for about 2 frames if we look right here, his mouth, his entire bottom part of his mouth just was not drawn. It's only for a few frames, so it can kind of be forgiven, but like, how do these mistakes even happen, man? 2D animation's hard, I'll give them a break, but like, you just forgot to draw his whole mouth? Poor Squidward, but yeah, let's keep it rolling, guys. Lots of crazy mistakes coming up, so stay tuned.
Just make an incision here. No! Shoot! Son of a gun! Not my bad!
I'll take that.
Next up, we have a modern episode of SpongeBob. This episode's from the HD era. It's Code Yellow. And the plot of this episode's actually really funny. Squidward over here wants to get a nose job at the hospital, but somehow SpongeBob over here becomes his doctor and his surgeon. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, I would never let SpongeBob perform a surgery on my face. There's a lot of weird things going on in this hospital though. There's a mistake here that's really funny. I'm gonna roll the clip and let's see if you guys can spot it. And here's a hint. It has to do with this fish right here.
And best of all, there's no SpongeBob here.
Oh boy, surgery!
What are you doing here?
Oh, hi everybody!
Yeah, so when SpongeBob enters the operating room in the clips you guys just saw, this fish right here on the left, who looks like Incidental 6 kind of, is purple, all right? Remember this? He's purple. But here's the problem. In the following scenes, like seconds later, we jump to the same shot and that same fish is there, but look at him now. He's now a completely different color and he's kind of changed shape as well. So just like, what? Fish don't magically change colors in between scenes. What most likely happened here is they originally drew and colored this fish as purple and then forgot and gave him a completely different color, which looks so weird. This is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I really wanted to make today, like all of the mistakes, to be like funny mistakes. So stay tuned, let's keep it moving. Plenty of more episodes to cover and plenty of more mistakes coming up. Before we head over to the next one though, do me a favor, in the comments, let me know 3 episodes you want me to cover in the future and I'll find mistakes in them. Do it right now, leave that comment, but let's over to that next episode. Let's keep it moving.
This fall won't hurt me.
The episode, Goons on the Moon, is a really good episode. I actually love this episode. There's so many funny scenes. I think even Santa Claus shows up at one point in this episode randomly. So funny. Really good episode. I recommend it. But this episode has an issue, and as you guys can guess, it has some mistakes, guys. It has 2 cheeky mistakes. Here's the first one.
Oh, shrimp. Now where am I?
Now this one isn't that big of a deal and it's honestly very easy to miss, but this scene where Squidward is in the moon crater, the Krusty Krab delivery bag disappears and reappears constantly throughout the entire scene. It'll be there, then it's not there, then it's there again, and then it isn't there. And considering they're on the moon, I doubt like it's being put away and then being brought out randomly like this constantly. So this was definitely a mistake. There's some scenes where the animators forgot to draw the bag. And that ain't it for this episode. There's another mistake, damn. Now this one is really bad because I want you guys to remember that these dudes are in space, okay? They're in space, right? So in this scene where SpongeBob is having trouble putting on a seatbelt, we can see that he's barefoot. He isn't wearing any socks or shoes or nothing. However though, when they end up making a sale of clothes, SpongeBob now randomly has socks. Where did he get the socks from? Like, Where did they come from? They're in space. This man didn't just get space socks randomly, so a bit of a mistake. I'll admit, the mistakes in this episode were kinda weak, but trust me guys, this next episode is full of wild mistakes.
You expect me to believe he was tickling himself?
You better tell him, SpongeBob.
All right, it was me. Like this.
Next up is the season 6 episode, Professor Squidward, which to be honest with you guys is not the best episode. You know, the plot is kind of cool because we get to see Squilliam, but not the best episode. What it does have though is this mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Isn't it grand?
Water.
He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
All right, I've had enough.
So this character right here is known as Incidental F9, and as you can see, she's wearing this dress. It looks very good, she looks very pretty. But seconds later after that shot I just showed you, when we hear Fred say, "Isn't it grand?" Incidental F9's dress is missing. Her dress is just gone, and I highly doubt Shorty took her dress off. Like, what? Where's her dress? Where'd it go? That's not it for this episode, guys. I have another mistake. This one though, you really need to pay attention to. Like I said, this one's kind of complicated, guys, so listen closely. So during this scene where Patrick rides his locomotive into the trash can, we can see Squidward exit the building from this door right here, this door, and it leads to outside where he places the trash can, right? This door right here leads to outside, remember. But later on in this episode, this completely changes. It's like the animators forget, because when both news crews and the police come into Squidward's classroom, they enter the same door that Squidward took to go outside, but now it leads to a hallway. So a bit of a continuity error here. I don't know what's going on, but let's keep the video going, guys, and head over to another crazy episode with tons of mistakes. Don't click off.
They're selling chocolate!
They're selling chocolate?
Yeah!
Chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Next up is the season 3 banger, Chocolate with Nuts. If you don't know this episode, then you're living under a rock like Patrick. I love this episode, and it has some mistakes. Here's the first one.
Did you say chocolate?
Yes, sir. With or without nuts.
Chocolate? Chocolate!
So take a close look at Incidental 6 over here, as when he says, "Did you say chocolate?" his eyes are yellow and his tongue is red, as you can see here, alright, Incidental 6. However, literally in the next shot, not only are his eyes now green, as you can see here, but his tongue is also pink. The tongue color change isn't that big of a deal, but how do you go from yellow to green eyes? And there's more. This episode has another mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Would you like to buy a chocolate bar?
No!
Listen closely, as this one is very detailed, okay? So, when SpongeBob and Patrick encounter the con man for the 3rd time, we can see this staircase to his front door right here. And what's important is that it only has 3 steps. Remember this, okay? Staircase right here, and it only has 3 steps. But moments later, when the con man eventually falls down this same staircase, it's the same staircase, it now magically has like 10 steps. Like, what? Did he renovate the staircase in between shots? Because this is totally a mistake. First it had 3 steps, and now it has 10 steps. So yeah, a mistake. And let's keep it moving and head over to another cartoon with more mistakes, guys. Stay tuned, you're not gonna believe them. One of my favorite SpongeBob characters is Bubble Bass. I mean, this dude loves pickles, and I like pickles, you know, so I like him. But he had an episode entirely dedicated to him recently on the Patrick Star Show. This episode is Bubble Bass Reviews, and it's hilarious, guys, because they make fun of like YouTube reviewers. This episode has a mistake. Roll the footage.
Tell him I'm not home! Ready here! Have fun!
Yo, buddy!
Now you have to be a super fan to really catch this mistake because it's very subtle. But back in the episode Swamp Mates, we got to see Bubble Bass's room. And as you can see, the upstairs room is gray. Remember this, as it's important, okay? This upstairs room in Bubble Bass's house is gray. Remember this. But if you pay attention in Bubble Bass Reviews, when Bubble Bass screams and runs upstairs, the upstairs room is now pink. Like, what happened here? It used to be gray, now it's pink. I guess they could have repainted the room, but I don't think that would happen in a cartoon, guys. So kind of a mistake here. Don't worry though, we're gonna keep it moving and head over to another episode with even spicier mistakes. You will not believe it. Stay tuned.
Hey, I saw you on TV last night.
New Bran Flakes. Bold new taste. Bran Flakes.
Next up is As Seen on TV. Now, this episode is about the Krusty Krab's first ever commercial, and SpongeBob over here thinks he's famous because he gets like a 2-second cameo in the commercial that airs on TV. It's really funny. SpongeBob gets a massive ego in the episode. It's hilarious. Here are some clips.
SpongeBob.
I'm getting recognized all over. Why, next thing you know, people are gonna start doing stuff like holding doors open for—
I gotta say, it's really weird seeing SpongeBob act like this. He's normally such a wholesome character, and he doesn't really care about attention that much. But in this episode, he thinks he's the star of the show. It's really funny the way he interacts with other characters. But what isn't so funny are the mistakes in this episode, and there's three mistakes in one episode. Here's the first one.
One with a collar, turtleneck. Squidward, this crowd is insatiable.
This first one is pretty bad, but I gotta say, you need the eyes of a hawk to be able to actually catch it. So at one point, SpongeBob lifts up his shirt collar, but if you look at the back, right by his fingers, it's like the smallest spot. I'm gonna zoom in on it so you guys can see. They didn't draw the back of his collar. Right there by his fingers, we should be able to see the back of his shirt, but I guess they just forgot to draw it. And now that I've shown you, you know it looks kind of weird. Not as weird as mistake number 2 though. This one's really bad.
'Cause when you're wearing
We want patties!
Okay, so look during this scene. When the crowd says, "We want patties," Incidental 46's waist is purple. Throughout the episode, it looks like this, right? This is how it's supposed to look, but in this one shot, for some reason, it's purple. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we still got one more mistake in this episode. Here's mistake number 3.
Well, how do you explain that? A second Krusty Krab?
Wait, now we've got no crew to make the commercial.
What are you talking about?
So early on in the episode, as you guys can see, there is a second Krusty Krab. But here's the problem. It's actually only shown when Mr. Krabs mentions it. In any other shot where you would be able to see it, it's just not there. Like in some of these shots, it should be right there. Here's a shot of it being there. Now look at these shots, it's just not there. It's missing, it's gone. The animators forgot to draw it, and wait, hold up. Do you guys know what time it is? Cause it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And one I keep on hearing about is Phineas and Ferb. We've covered them before, but we're gonna do it again. The episode is Lawn Gnome Beach Party of Terror. Interesting episode. And here's a hint, it has to do with this character right here, Isabella. I'm showing a PNG of her on screen, and it's gonna have to do with her mouth, okay? Let's see if you guys can spot it. Pay attention to Isabella over here and roll that clip.
Building a beach. Check it out.
Can me and the other Fireside Girls be lifeguards? We need to earn our aquatic safety badges.
Did you guys catch it? Because it's like incredibly funny. It's only for a few frames. But at the very beginning of the episode, when Isabella asks Phineas if the Fireside Girls can help, Disney really messed up because they drew Isabella over here with 2 mouths. Like, look at this. She has 2 sets of upper teeth. Her mouth is like overlapped. It's like they drew her with 2 mouths. So yeah, major mistake here. And let's go back to SpongeBob. But comment down below, guys, what other cartoons do you want me to cover on the random mistake of the day? Like, actually comment it, let me know, and I'll cover it in the future. But back to the yellow spongy goodness, all right, guys? Back to SpongeBob.
Okay, Patrick, you go in first and control his arms and legs. Then I'll go in and control the brain.
All right, we're back to SpongeBob, and I've got another spicy one for you guys. Now, this one you're gonna really need to pay close attention to kind of like catch the mistake. The episode is Snooze You Lose, so this is another modern HD episode of SpongeBob, and I'm gonna play the mistake, but here's a little hint. It has to do with the top of Patrick's head, all right? Roll that footage.
You'll have to create another Squidward in a lab.
You are a genius!
Yeah, so this is somewhat of a common mistake in 2D animation, and it's because animation is based off of layers, alright? Each item on screen, like SpongeBob, is one layer, the background is one layer. I'm not gonna explain it all right now because animation is complicated, but in this scene right here, if we pause at the right frame, look, Patrick's head gets cut off prematurely. What was supposed to happen here is Patrick's head is supposed to be touching like the side of the frame, so the top of his head would get cut off. But they positioned him a little too far from the right side of the frame, which is why we can just see this piece of his head missing. You know, it makes sense because Patrick doesn't have much of a brain, you know, maybe that's why half of his head got cut off, but it's more likely that it was a mistake, and it's okay, we'll forgive you, Nickelodeon. We'll forgive you for this. Next up, we have the episode Big Sister Sam, where we're introduced to Patrick's not so pretty or cute sister. Like, this girl is angry, dude. But anyways, we're here for mistakes, and this episode has quite a few. Here's the first one.
More spiffy!
But that's from
my house!
Come on, sis.
Did you guys catch that? It has to do with the doorknob on Squidward's house, alright? So, when Sam spiffs up the house, she adds the front door from Squidward's house, alright? You can see it right here. And at first, when we see it, the doorknob is on the right. Remember this, alright? The doorknob's on the right. However, though, in a few scenes later, it's now magically on the left. Here's a side-by-side. At first, it was on the right, and now randomly, it is on the left. What a weird mistake, and here's another one.
Whoa! Hey, let's go inside and play!
So this one's weird, it needs some explaining, alright? So, when Sam throws her brother Patrick, poor Patrick, dude, like, she really throws him, and he lands on his rock, if we look, Patrick's rock is to the right of the screen, alright? It's right here on the right side. Now, the problem is seconds later, when Sam goes over to Patrick's rock, they travel to the left side of the screen, when we literally just seen that the rock is on the right side. So technically a mistake. This one's kinda weird. There's gonna be a lot crazier mistakes coming up, guys, that are actually really bad, so let's keep it moving.
Let's go back to the main deck.
Okay.
Patrick!
This next one takes place in the episode The Wreck of the Moa Loa, and it's right at the very end of the episode. Roll the clip.
That was awesome!
This one only happens for a split second, so I can't really blame anybody for missing it, but when SpongeBob and Patrick laugh after their ride gets destroyed, like I said, for a split second, SpongeBob's mouth is gone. Like, what? How do you forget to draw this dude's mouth? It's only for a split second, though, so I guess I'll give him a break. It's probably a glitch. But weird mistake, dude, and we've got plenty of more that are even more weird.
Mom, look, it's a guy dressed as a Krabby Patty.
It's never too soon to start picking a good college, Billy.
In the episode Krusty Dogs, Krusty Krabs are replaced with hot dogs, which is just wild, but not as wild as the mistake in this episode. Take a look at this.
No more Krabby Patties!
So as you guys just saw, a big part of this episode is that Mr. Krabs crosses the Krabby Patty off of the menu, like insane. So insane that an ambulance literally comes. Now maybe you guys caught this one on your own, but if you didn't, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. But normally in the Krusty Krab, there is this workstation area with the cash register that Squidward always works in, this boat right here. But in that scene when the ambulance comes after Krabby Patties are taken off the menu, Squidward's workstation is just completely missing. It should be right here, but they just forgot to draw it during this one scene, which is kinda hilarious. Here's another one from this episode. I'll make it quick.
No more Krabby Patties!
Yeah, okay, this one's funny. So Krabby Patties, right? They're not sold at the Krusty Krab anymore. Well then why in this scene that takes place after they're removed, is there a fish behind SpongeBob still eating a Krabby Patty when they're supposed to be gone? Not that big of a deal, but still technically a mistake. And guys, we've got more. Here's another episode.
At this time, survival looks bleak for the little yellow sponge.
No! This is my worst nightmare! I don't have a drink!
It's time to take a trip down the tunnel of Glove. This episode has quite a few mistakes, so let's get right into them. Here's the first one.
Glove, It's the Tunnel of Evil!
This one's very weird. So in the Hall of Great Romance, the scene you guys just saw, there's this robot right here with a green dress. Now, the dress covers its legs and feet. Remember this. However, when it eventually walks towards Pearl and SpongeBob, look, the dress is just kind of weird now and shows the feet instead of covering it. It's like the dress's design has changed somewhat, and then it's like this for the rest of the episode. Here's a side-by-side. Isn't 100% a mistake, but y'all know that that's very weird. And here's one that's actually a mistake for sure. Roll the footage.
She's gonna blow!
SpongeBob is your boyfriend!
So at the ending of the episode, the Tunnel of Glove explodes, all right? And when this happens, SpongeBob and Pearl are in this boat right here, and you can see on the back that this boat has this little like flag on the back of it, all right? It's right here, remember this flag. Now eventually they go in water, and when the boat crashes, you can see that the flag is kind of wet right here. But then as the scene progresses, that flag eventually just disappears. Take a look at this shot of the boat, a flag should be right there, but it's just gone now. Literally no one removed it, so it seems that the animators forgot to draw the flag in these shots. All right, now I will admit the two mistakes we just covered are kind of weak, so let's head over to another episode and cover something spicy.
I could play leapfrog!
This one is hilarious. It's from the episode You Don't Know Sponge, and it has to do with our boy Larry's shorts. Watch this. You guys probably caught it, but Larry over here, when he first enters the store, is wearing his signature swim trunks, all right? I want to go swimming now. But as he approaches this blender, if we look closely and zoom in on his shorts that are behind the table, they're just randomly black. The animators just completely forgot to give them color. Does it look funny? Yes. Is it a mistake? Also yes. And here's another one from this episode.
It's like we're not friends at all.
Now, Patrick may not have passed the quiz, but like a true best friend, he's always right here for me, right, Patrick?
So when SpongeBob says the line you guys just heard, now Patrick may not have passed the quiz, and looks at the ladder, look, their legs are missing. Their legs are just not there. It's kind of a weird angle. I can understand why they didn't draw them, but they're gone. Crazy how many mistakes there are in SpongeBob, man. It's like endless, so let's keep it moving. Another episode, baby, let's go.
Sea Whelks have invaded Bikini Bottom and are on the attack.
Whelks? I'm not afraid of some goofy old sea snail.
This one I'm going to make insanely quick because we've covered a similar one already today, but in the episode Whelk Attack, this happens.
Only $3.99 each. That'll be $54.95.
I will not be surprised if you guys did not catch it, but as Mr. Krabs is coming out with the plate full of Krabby Patties, and he exits the Krusty Krab with the doors behind him, if we look closely through the windows to the inside of the Krusty Krab, we can see that Squidward's cash register station is missing again. We know this because of the order window. We should be able to see the boat that Squidward is normally in right below that order window, but it's not there. And I'm definitely overanalyzing this because it's a kid's cartoon and it's not that big of a deal. But let's keep on overanalyzing and head over to another episode and find more mistakes. But actually, first, it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob. Don't worry, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob to expose a mistake in a random cartoon. Again, though, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob, but for now, let's talk about Fairly Odd Parents, another Nickelodeon banger.
Just let me clarify this. You married your car.
Yep. Now my kids get 17 miles to the gallon.
The mistake can be found in the episode Power Mad, and it has to do with the character Chester. Here's a little hint, we're showing Chester on screen. Remember his hair color. All right, let's see if you guys can catch this mistake. Roll the clip.
We really need to stop playing. Why? I have to go?
No, you don't. You just win at 6:13. Besides,
So you guys probably caught it, especially with the hint I gave you, but if you didn't, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. So let's take a look at Chester right here, and we'll notice that his hair is blonde, all right? And even when they go into like virtual reality in this episode, his hair turns to like this pinkish color, but his hair is not black. So why during this scene are his eyebrows or eyelashes black? They should be blonde. If we look at him in any other episode, look at his eyelashes or eyebrows, they are not black. So this is totally totally a mistake, and let's get back to SpongeBob. Do let me know in the comments though, guys, what other cartoons you want me to cover for the random mistake of the day. But yeah, back to SpongeBob. Our next mistake can be found in the episode Buried in Time, which is all about the Krusty Krab making like a time capsule. The episode's really funny. Take a look at the beginning here, and then we're gonna get into the mistakes.
Empty. I thought I'd never see the day. Oh, this can has been here for 50 years. That's longer than me.
Okay, it's mistake time. Here's the first one.
Right. This play is actually not meant to be eaten on. Now, with your permission, I'd like to perform a few tests to verify its authenticity.
So as you guys just saw, there is one fish who brings plates to put in the time capsule, alright? And for about a frame, if you look, his eyes briefly disappear for a frame. They come back, but I mean, come on, man. They should be there the whole time. Here's mistake number 2.
And thanks so much for...
So throughout the scenes where the fish are putting things inside of the capsule, we can see this red ribbon which runs from the stand to the Krusty Krab right here. But throughout this scene, it actually just disappears and reappears. At one point it's here, and this shot it's not there, then it comes back, just totally messy. And let's head over to another episode, guys. The mistakes in this episode we just covered are all right, but this is where things get wild. Be prepared.
SpongeBob, would you help your granny cross the street?
Why don't you walk yourself across the street?
Next up, we've got the abrasive side. This episode's pretty interesting. It's all about SpongeBob realizing that he's too nice, so like an actual sponge, he switches to the green side. He switches to his abrasive side. Now, we're gonna get into the mistakes of this episode as it has a ton of them, but first, here are some hilarious clips from this episode, and then we'll get right to the mistakes.
I wouldn't hang out with you for all the money in Krabs' mattress.
You don't know how long I've waited to hear those words.
Yeah, so this is a really good episode. In terms of season 7, like this is up there as a really good episode. Even good episodes, though, have mistakes. Here's the first one.
You're right on time for our play date.
Woo! I can't wait. You're my best friend. So beat it, Tubby. I don't care for your company.
Did you guys catch it? Because this one's really bad. It's only for a split second, so I get it if you guys didn't. But at one point, when SpongeBob is talking to Patrick, it happens for a frame, but look at one of his eyes. As part of his blue eye turns like red for a split second. Like what? I'm zooming in. It looks really weird, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea how this mistake would have happened. It can't be a layering issue, but whatever. Here's mistake number 2.
Grab something heavy. Now hold still.
No, you don't scare me.
This is gonna sting worse than a jellyfish in a bucket of electric eel.
This one's really easy to miss, but when Sandy rolls up the sleeves on her suit, there is weirdly black hair on her arms even though she already has fur. Think about that for a second. Weird. Here's mistake number 3.
It's unbelievable. More money for service above and beyond.
Okay, this one is really funny. At one point, as you guys saw, we go into a dictionary in this episode and we can see the definition for multiple words, obviously. Now, when the dictionary is open, you'll notice that the word more is missing from the definition of overkill. In the episode, it reads as the process of doing than a situation requires, when it's obviously supposed to say the process of doing more than a situation requires. Also, in the same scene, if we move over to the left, like in that same shot, you'll notice that the left side of the entire dictionary is like incomplete. It like cuts off here when it's not supposed to. Anyways though, there's actually more mistakes in this episode. Here's another one.
Time to help me test out my disappearator.
No, can't do.
Brainless.
As you guys know, Sandy wears a helmet, a glass helmet that nothing should be able to go through because it's glass, duh. But when this thing hits Sandy, it somehow just goes through her helmet. Like I'm showing it in slow motion, look, it glitches and goes through her helmet when it shouldn't be able to do that because it's a glass helmet. Crazy, dude. Now, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys, but click this video right here for more SpongeBob mistakes. You don't wanna miss them. Leave a comment and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Click this video here though first. Peace.